traffic is available. All this information we want to upload into our network. So this uploading into the network is only possible through only communication. So that means the huge the spectrum should be available to upload all of your applications to the 5G communication. But the spectrum is very limited. So we have to utilize the available spectrum, but at the optimal way. We want to introduce the many of the applications into 5G networks. So these are the main concerns, that is public safety, security assurance, Wi-Fi upload and internet interworking, small cell enhancements, because we want to use many applications. So our cells must be in a small cell enhancement scheme. Like within a base station, we want to divide this area octagonal shape into a smaller octagonal shapes. We want to introduce many small cells into the integration, and also the Kramer aggregation of all the information is much important for 5G. And so the other things are, that is in release 13, they talked about public safe contribution, push to talk, software defined networks, virtualization and cloud, user plane congestion, LTE, LTE unlicensed, so carrier aggregation and other things. So this is how we are continuing our from one release to the other release. We are continuing into the research of the 5G communication. So if you look at the 5G communication, so one example is higher QAM we have used in the first diagram, right? So in the higher QAM, the first one is 16 QAM, 64 QAM and 256 QAM. So modulation, because we want to communicate at a faster rate. We want to communicate a faster bits at a small amount of time. So we are going for higher order modulation schemes. And also we want to use the optimization, MAC optimization, because the packet switching, packet scheduling, radio resource allocations, these are all important areas where we have to concentrate much towards these applications to bring your 5G into the next generation of wireless communication. So if you look at the OFDM, that is the increase in the number of the subcarriers, 1.25 times. This is in IEEE 802.11 standards. They have given a standard for our 4G, and we have used the turbo encoder and decoder and HRQ link adaptation, and also we have gone up to MIMO, multiple inputs and multiple output. That is the channel capacity becomes n times per CISO. This is a different, altogether a different analysis we have to continue for multiple input and multiple output schemes. But it is a very useful scheme to increase your data rate, to increase your reliability, safety and security by adopting some of the features of MIMO. So if you look at the network society nowadays, you can see how many signals are present in the universe by seeing, because the urban area development, so the usage of the cells, usage of the devices, usage of the internet, it has become very crowded for 5G. So definitely we are going to introduce a new spectrum that is below 6 gigahertz and above 6 gigahertz. So below 6 gigahertz already being used for 4G, and but we have to accommodate more number of applications. So maybe other option is the millimeter wave communication. So this millimeter wave communication is a potential, it is giving a potential spectrum that is above 6 gigahertz. Some spectral holes are present in the millimeter wave range. So they have identified 10 to 20 the range of applications we can use, 20 to 30 what is the range of applications we can use, 60 gigahertz, at 60 gigahertz also we can deploy some of the applications. But how to integrate all these applications into a 5G communication, again a challenging one, because the millimeter wave communication, as its name itself says, millimeter, right? It's a small wave. So small wave, it will penetrate, it will transmit in a small distance only. It cannot go for a longer distance. So It is useful only for the indoor communication, maybe a very short distance communication, but still we want to accommodate, because the crunch in our spectrum, we want to accommodate more number of applications. So we would like to go for millimeter wave range applications.
Yes, Manana.
So then when you are talking about the 5G, so we have to talk about what are the waveforms. That is a new waveform based air interface for tactile internet. Fast. I am always saying about low latency and ultra reliability, URLLC. So that is a tactile internet, fast response time, agile and flexible air interface. So this kind of a waveform we should be able to design. That is a physical layer waveform. We have to design a new waveform to bring all these applications into one I can say one domain. So also we are looking for energy saving, because energy harvesting is a very important topic nowadays. So we should see, because if you are using many applications in your mobile, the battery will drain out very quickly. So all the time we cannot keep your battery charging all the point, because when you are traveling, when you are moving, so I cannot keep my battery on for all the time. So when you are designing your application, you have to concentrate more on the gain, that is energy saving, that is energy harvesting. And sometimes this energy harvesting is sometimes like, suppose if I'm not using an app, if I'm not using that application, keep the application off. When I'm bringing that application on, use the energy, something like that. We have to do some scheduling in your networking. So this is also a new area. The people are working on energy harvesting. It's a very good area also. You need to know you must solve these sections using your math. So optimization techniques, we need to know the optimization techniques, convex optimization, and how the energy is saved. Some areas we need to know about pure mathematics to solve some of the problems. So now we are coming to HETnets. So what is this HETnet? It is a self-organizing network, right? So these small cells divide your base stations into a hexagonal shape, but earlier they were up to 10 kilometers, maybe 5 kilometers. Now bring it down to 1 kilometer, half kilometer, and even further 500 meters. So install within the area of 500 meters of cell region. That means for every 500 meters, a cell, a base station to be installed with a lower capacity. So that is about small cells. This is also called as HETnets. This is also having a future scope, and lot of research area open problems are present in small cell implementation, small cells identification, small cells coordination, small cells organization. So next, coming to so we are interested in green networking, new waveform based air interface, and small cells. But how to coordinate them? So the base station cooperation for interference mitigation. So this is altogether a software problem. So we have to, because nowadays we are mostly working together with software and hardware combinedly, because every time when I want to change my configuration, I have to change the entire base station. It's not possible. So most of the things we wanted to do only in the software, finally it goes to the hardware for transmission. So we are concentrating more onto the coordination by using software-defined networks and software like USRPs, Universal Software Radio Platforms, for testing our algorithms.